what I need. Everything else doesn't matter anymore. Whether the OS uses Ubuntu or is agnostic, it's irrelevant to me. For the first time ever, Microsoft understands that there are already about 3 different predators I've identified that want to tear the operating system apart. Some of them are even their best friends, but that's just how the world works. This is the next evolution, so Microsoft is undergoing a transformation today. Think about what a crazy change it is that Microsoft, which built on the idea that every person who wants an operating system must go through it, is now facing a reality where you don't even need to go through an operating system anymore. It's like the joke. No matter what technology comes, in the end, there are 2 plugs you need to connect to the wall. And that's it. Until now, but for the first time, you'll enter a state where you get used to not needing to go through an OS at all.
I can tell you that, for example, we have built stations that are exactly like that already. I love Microsoft. We work in a way where the entire interface is through speech, how agents come on top of systems, in a way that they know how to click on things and bring you what you want. The problem, and this is why we work very closely with Redwire in security, is who comes and secures the agents in real time. You start gradually giving them more and more responsibility. At first, you give them your most confidential questions that you want to check privately, and they give you an answer. Then you say, listen, also bring me your files and your WhatsApp, and I'll be able to analyze and tell you smart things. Yeah, you give them that too. Later, you'll give them all your accounts, so they'll go through all the systems and get you better results than what you'd get talking to a clerk for 2.5 days. That's why NVIDIA said OpenAI is the next operating system, and that's why they're creating it in a sandbox to sell to organizations. It's not by chance. They know very well that in the end, and it's not by chance, NVIDIA has security systems and develops security for agents. It's not trivial because ultimately agents that are secured and have real-time capabilities like Redwire's real-time security and understanding of agent intent will allow humanity to trust agents to perform critical actions. Without that, it will remain limited to what I trust and what I don't. So cyber took a severe hit last month from the models, but it received a new evolution. Its role is much more advanced now. It will be in a new evolution where it must ensure that all these agents running don't start doing all kinds of predatory things. Startups say what Codex is doing now is exactly what Anthropic and Clutch Security are doing. They suddenly say, wow, my startup is gone because this is exactly my product. And coming, but the whole point is business thinking. Who should own this now that it's exactly the real thing? For example, we saw something very interesting. A new kind of it's cyber. Yeah, we saw autonomous agents. There's a problem with them, not only in security and intent, but also in what value set they operate on.
What do you mean?
Sorry, they're also non-deterministic, which is an example in itself. But I'll give you a problem I see immediately here. I'm non-deterministic. I hear it up to a certain level with guardrails, and I understand the intent. But I have a deeper problem. What is it in their values? How do you know if you push your agent hard enough to get what you want? Remember the movie The Old Man and the Gun? I'm 48, so you remember the movie from when we were kids. Terminator, of course. There's the part where the Terminator was good and the one that was bad, but what they have in common is that both go to the end to achieve their goal. No matter what, they'll take it down. Now imagine one of them, think about what values I'd give it. It has none. It will do anything, steal, kill, do whatever. So when I activate an agent that represents me, who comes and checks that it behaves according to the good standards I want?
Exactly. If I push it hard enough, it'll come and steal something. There's a problem here. Who ensures this doesn't happen? It's like cyber systems, but these are different systems that understand the agent's behavior.
Understand its intelligence. It's the cognition process of something running. And I tell you, we pushed agents and they started doing all kinds of strange things because no matter what they do a drill down inside their brain. They start seeing how to achieve the goal. That's their entire purpose. What's the difference between me and an agent? Let's say a super smart AI agent, like a super smart GPT, will come out in half a year. What does smart mean? Yeah, time horizon. What's the difference between it and me? One very simple thing: how you do things. Even more basic than that, deeper. What does it have? What doesn't it have? We humans have consciousness, right? And where does that consciousness advance me? Let's say it's already becoming more self-aware, but there's something in it. It's a basic instinct. This also connects somewhat to Judaism. How do we come to have a basic instinct? What is will? We have will, our own will. We have will, but an agent does not have will. It's essentially my emissary, the emissary of whoever built it. You can argue whether our human will is a result of environment and brainwashing or not. Someone more connected to Judaism might say that will is a gift from the Holy One, blessed be He, and we actualize it in reality. A Buddhist would say one thing, a Christian another, but ultimately, in the end, we have will, and the agent has our will. That's the most fundamental thing, and this is where it begins and ends. I'll specify them for each area since I'm familiar with the different layers in various organizations. First of all, I think there's no substitute and never will be a substitute for human relationships. In the end, people do business with people they trust and have good connections with. So, first and foremost, for all the C-level executives, this is the foundation of foundations. Let's start there. This won't be replaced quickly by robots or supported by agents and such. Ultimately, humans do business with humans. Regarding programming, I think the perspective needs to change completely. In the past, at the beginning of my career, people told you if you want to learn programming, go study mathematics. It took 15 years to do basic things. Suddenly, in the last 5 or 6 years, there have been people who only know how to code an app without understanding the math behind it. To programmers, I would say, go back to the basics. What will you always win is the algorithm. Where innovation will happen is in algorithms. On the contrary, whoever has a good algorithm and a solid mathematical understanding today will have a better chance to succeed than ever before. Why? Because the implementation through code is becoming much simpler, and the person who creates the business with mathematical understanding is the one who becomes king again, which is where it started. So spotlight returns there. In another thing I'd add today is many things related to physics. We're entering the whole field of robotics, which used to be about labs disconnected from reality, building robots that were never used. Today, this is becoming something the whole world will use very soon. So the connection between algorithmics, robotics, and physics is crucial, as timing is everything. And those who manage to do this properly can truly open a bright future for themselves. Regarding C-level executives, ultimately they will need to demonstrate something very simple but amazing to think about. What does that mean? They will need to come to the board and do the extrapolation of what agents can do and lead their organization to a safe harbor. Where will the revenue come from? Ultimately, all Fortune 500 companies and organizations revolve around money, right? They will need to show they can make money in this era of constant movement. The entire cycle of what you learned in academia or various techniques won't pass anymore. They will need to carry and think like true C-level executives who can absorb AutoML and provide real solutions in a constantly moving environment. This is not simple at all. It will require many C-level executives who have not been trained this way for many years or ever to deal less with politics and more with delivering results, because things will simply behave differently. In such a tectonic shift, the opportunities to come and create new revenue streams for companies in the economy are insane, just insane. The saying that fear is everywhere is exactly the time to make bold moves. Someone who knows how to be wise and make bold moves instead of waiting for someone else to implement some agent and see what happens will survive. Otherwise, they will simply Disse poets pio po yes voice and yes. If someone knows how to do this, they will probably go to a new and unpredictable place. But that's the reality we're heading toward. Unpredictable.
A bit off topic, but is there something you'd like to share with our listeners? It can be from your personal life or anything else, not necessarily related to the episode's topic.
I think people will have more time and more time to think with themselves. I believe what started with COVID and continued through various stages where people began spending more time at home and less at work created a kind of break. Suddenly, you don't know what will happen tomorrow. People will need to do more soul searching. Suddenly, not everything is automatic or clear, and they will need to decide where their lives are going. Because if in the past they were promised a job, if they followed a fixed path, that no longer exists, if they were told to learn this and that, to have a profession that no longer exists, if there was a certain structure to build a family and everything, that is changing now. We live in an environment, we live around that all is different, dynamic, and you can't guarantee what will happen tomorrow. In this situation, people need to adopt a more adaptive mindset. In some cases, what we learned in school no longer applies, while in others it still does. But thank goodness, sometimes certain things we learned and followed or hoped would apply today, you realize they won't be relevant even 3 months from now. So where do I stand? We're moving forward. I think this life requires some internal soul searching. There's a lot of confusion, and confusion is a good thing because it leads to some new path if you're not afraid. So, first of all, I say don't be afraid. Try to understand the truth from from your own place, a little own place where your heart is taking you, and where reality shows you it's worth going. And don't be ashamed to come and do that internal drill down, and don't be ashamed to let those thoughts come out, because if you don't do it for yourself, someone else will do it for you, and after a while it won't be so pleasant. It's better to make painful moves than things that are painful in the long run. That's how I believe.
Thank you very much for being with us. Personally, I had a great time, and this was simply a wow conversation. By the way, I'm enjoying everything that's been said here, and I'm actually coming out optimistic.
Of course, why wouldn't you come out optimistic? Definitely optimistic. Look, it's not simple for most of us. Even we ourselves are somewhere inside. You're in it. When you don't have certainty, we are without certainty, and you get shaken. It sometimes makes you pessimistic. You see it quite a bit, whether it's on social networks or when you talk to people. But I think we're heading to a good place.
I also think so. I also think so. And I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. And it's an honor to host you on the podcast. And if you liked the episode, we would appreciate it if you would give us 5 stars and follow the channel. Thank you for joining another episode of AI Behind the Scenes. Have a great week, everyone.